गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone for today's class. So, today we'll be reading from summary of Bhakti Sindhu Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Yes. Madhav Keshav Prabhu, can you
Yes,
read?
Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. In the Padma Purans, there is a statement for any person who is chanting the holy names either softly or loudly. The paths to liberation and even heavenly happiness are at once open. In Skanda Puran, there is a statement about the submission unto the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said that it is said there that those who are sober devotee can offer their submissions to the Krishna in the following three ways. Samprahatmika, very feelingly of
Samprarthnatmika.
Samprarthatmika, very feelingly offering prayers. Dainya Bodhika, humbly submitting oneself. Lalsa Mai, desiring some perfectional stage. This desiring some perfectional stage in the spiritual life is not a sense gratification. When one realizes something of his constitutional relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he understands his original position and wants to be reinstated in this position either as a friend, servant, parent, or conjugal lover of Krishna, that is called as Lalsamai, or very eagerly desiring to go to one's natural position. This Lalsamai stage of submission comes in the stage of perfect liberation, which is technically called Swarupa Siddhi. When the living entity when the living entity understand by the perfect spiritual advancement and the revelation his original relationship with the Lord. In the Padma Puran, there is a statement of submission and the feeling of devotees praying to the Lord. My Lord, I know that young girls have the natural affections for young boys, and that young boys have the natural affections for young girls. I am praying at your lotus feet. I am praying at your lotus feet that my mind may become attracted unto you in the same spontaneous way. The
Okay.
example.
So this is uh for so we have already read about it. So therefore I've opened another place. Same thing. We are seeing तत्र संप्रार्थनात्मिका यथा पद्मे युवतीनां यथा यूनि यूनां च योतो यथा मनो अभिरमते तद्वन् मनो अभिरमतां त्वयि. So after telling three kinds of submission, vigyapti, eh? So vigyapti it is called vigyapane vigyapti. So there's three kind of vigyapti means submissions. So what are those? Samprarthanatmika, Dainabodhika, and Lalsamai. And then it is mentioned the example for Samprarthanatmika. So this we have already read. Let my attraction become for, as a girl is attracted towards a boy and boy is attracted towards a girl, my attraction of mind should also be like that for you, my lord. So this is called Samprarthanatmika. And actually, above that, Prabhupada has said that Lalsamai comes in perfect liberation stage, means Siddha. So when somebody is Siddha, he has Lalsa of that kind of thing. Sarup Siddhi, as it is said, means one is aspiring to attain this kind of form, Gopa, Gopi, uh, or mother, father, or Dasya. So like that kind of rasa one wants to attain. So that is that time, that submission of the prayers, the submission, that is called Lalsamai. So we have discussed that also. Now, yes, go ahead. This example, the example is very appropriate.
This the example is very appropriate when a young when a young boy or girl sees a member of opposite sex, there is a natural attraction without the need of any introduction. Without any training, there is a natural attraction due to the sex impulse. This is a material example, but the devotee is praying that he may develop a similar spontaneous attachments for the Supreme Lord, free from any desire for the profit and without any other cause. These natural attractions for the Lord is the perfectional stage of self-realization. In the same Padma Puran, there is a statement about submission in humbleness. It is stated there, my dear Lord, there is no sinful living entity who is more of sinner than myself, nor is there a greater offender than myself. I am so greatly sinful and offensive that when I come to the confess my sinful activity before you, I am ashamed. This is a natural position for a devotee. As far as the conditional soul is concerned, there is no wonder that he has some sinful activity in his past life, and this should be admitted and confessed before the Lord. As soon as this is done, Lord excuse the sincere devotee. But that does not mean that one should take the advantage of Lord's causeless mercy and expect to be executed over over and over again while he commits the same sinful activity. Such mentality is only for shameless person. There, here it is clearly said, when I come to the confess my sinful activity, I became ashamed. So if a person is not ashamed of his sinful activity and continues to commit his same sinful activity with the knowledge that the Lord will excuse him, that is the most nonsensical proposition. Such 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 an idea is not accepted in any part of the Vedic literature. It is fact that my chant by chanting the holy name of Lord, one becomes washed clean of all sinful activity from his past life. But that does not mean that after being washed off, one should again begin a sinful activity and expect to be washed again. These are nonsensical propositions and are not admitted in the devotional service. Someone may think for a whole week I may commit sinful activity, and for one day I will go to the temple and church and admit my sinful activity so that I can become washed off and again begin my sinning. This is the most nonsensical and offensive, is not acceptable to the author of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In Narad Pancharatrika, there is a there is a statement of submission
Okay,
accompanied by
so, okay, 1 minute. So Prabhupada explained it in a detail here. The what is not acceptable and what is acceptable. So what is acceptable means one should feel remorse, regret, and ashamed that I have done this sinful activity. I should not have done that. Hmm. And the kind of mentality, as Prabhupada mentions in the churches, what is the mentality? Church, that you commit sin, and at the end of the week, we go to the church, there is a father, and we say that, Father, please take this money. This is for my repentance. and you please pray on my behalf to Jesus to forgive me my sins. And so next week again I will come and I will give you money. So that mentality is a very nonsensical purposes, and that is not accepted by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He is saying not acceptable to the author of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So though this Danya Bodhika prayer is there, it means it is also made by hmm, uh, he is saying, I am a greater offender than myself. There's no one greater offender than myself. I am a so greatly sinful, offensive that when I come to confess my sinful activities before you, I am ashamed. So, yes. And also there's a mention, it is the fact that by chanting the holy name of Lord, one can become washed clean of all sinful activity from past life. But that does not mean that after being washed off, one should again begin sinful activity and expect to be washed again. Yes. So what do you understand by that? Anyone? Anyone from audience side? क्या समझ में आया, क्या नहीं समझ में आया, या क्या क्वेश्चन है इसके ऊपर?
प्रभु जी वो चैंटिंग 10 ऑफेंसेस ऑफ है ना, नाम नो बलात् यस्य पाप दुथिर
ओके
कि नाम जप के बल पे हमें we should not think that we can do as many things as we can.
Correct. Okay. Okay, this is one thing one cannot take advantage. Same thing as you Prabhupada is repeating. We are repeating the same thing. Nam no baladhyasya paputi. So this whole discussion is here that one who has taken to the holy name, chanting of holy name, and surrender to the Lord. Somebody has said to him, okay, he goes and see, there's a progressive way. When we are discussing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this is a literature for those who wants to practice bhakti and attain perfection in Vaikuntha or in spiritual world like Golok Vrindavan. But for those people who do not know about all such things, they may occasionally commit sins and again go to the Lord and beg forgiveness, just like a ritual. Like we see that people eat meat. On the day of eating meat, they don't worship Lord. Then they on the next day they go and they worship the Lord because they've not eaten meat. You see, na, like somebody you sell Bhagavad Gita, they say that today I've eaten meat, I cannot touch Bhagavad Gita. So next day you can give him. So these kind of people are not called devotees. When we are discussing about devotees, it's a heavy thing. Those who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against all these offenses. The word is kept those who claims to be Vaishnava. So when we discuss about Vaishnava, we are discussing these principles. But for normal people, though we criticize, but that is the way they are going to, because they are not going to accept bhakti immediately. So gradually they will be elevated by their punya, little punya. So therefore, last time we may not have pointed it, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions why do religions of the world are called religion? Because there are so many materialistic propaganda through such religion. If you do this thing, you will get this thing. Why such things are called religion at all? So it is mentioned, he says only, because there is a glorification of the Lord Krishna or Vishnu through whatever means, but because it is there, glorification, gunanuvarnanam, or you can say like some chanting of the holy name, Krishneti Mangalam Nama, Krishna ka naam, ya Krishnaya Namaha, such kind of things. One can attain Swarga also. It is said by chanting Krishnaya Namaha, one can attain Swarga. So it is said. But these are not called devotees actually. So they are like Gunibhut Bhaktas or basically Karmi only. but not knowing any glory of bhakti. They are simply taking the names of Krishna. Like somebody learns Vishnu Sahasranam, somebody learns Ram Raksha Stotra, but they are not devotees actually. They may be just doing it for protection. Somebody learns Narsimha also for protection. So such people are not aware about the devotional service clearly. Hmm. For them, that is the only thing. They will commit sin, they will again go to the Lord, then again beg for it, they again commit sin, like that will going on for certain period. So now if they are in connection with Vaishnavas who are preaching to them, gradually they will pick up. Gradually they will pick up. uh, and then like so many people, they attend classes, but to come to 16 round and also follow four regulatory principles, it's not very easy for many people. So then they take almost 6 7 years. For youths, also it takes almost 2 3 years. Sometimes nowadays it is happening, and for a congregation it takes 6 7 years, more than that also. So for them, this principle is not applicable. Because Lord will gradually purify them and bring them to the Vaishnava. And once they come to following the regulatory principles like surrendering to spiritual master, taken to Guru, and dedicating, committing to following something, then these principles are very much applicable. Because without commitment, one cannot go back to Godhead. Even Ajamil also practiced for 12 years later because he wanted better position in spiritual world. As Prabhupada mentions, somebody desiring for better position in spiritual world, that is not speculation, but that is Sarup Siddhi. Means I want this kind of Sarupa. So that is not considered material sense gratification. That is spiritual, actually. So Ajamil also tried 12 years, even though he was qualified for going to Vaikuntha, because he did not have any aparadh, he just chanted Narayan. He was sinful, but he was also not sinful because already he chanted so many names of Narayan. His sins was already nullified. Now, as you see, Ajamila, yeah, it's a very nice, good example. Ajamila was committing sin and chanting Narayan. Committing sin, chanting Narayan. Committing sin, chanting Narayan. And not knowing what I'm chanting. So these kind of people, they are forgiven for all these things. जो भी बोलना है बोलो, नाम बोलो, हम आपको उद्धार करेंगे. So Ajamila had good fortune that he did not have aparad. His aparad had already got slackened. He had aparad, but it got slackened after some time. With the passage of time, it got slackened, and therefore he chanted, and it was sufficient for him to deliver him from all the sins. So once he got delivered from all the sins, and later he did not commit another aparad, so therefore his holy name maintained that status. Even though he was committing aparad, it was not affecting him. So this is another stage where a pure devotee also sometimes may do some sinful activities, but not maybe because of some situation, some like Bitrasur was born as a Asura, and he has to kill demigods. So it was like that actually, and it was in the battle also. But he was killing demigods. Yes. So then, so sometime even though they may commit, like Arjuna is killing his own family members. Yes. But that is not going to affect because they are doing in a fully transcendental consciousness. They are not going to gain anything from that. They have no such expectation for getting some result. So that is the highest level. But we are discussing about sadhaka, and then below than sadhaka are karmi people who are not yet sadhakas. So in this way, it is applied. But what about if a devotee is also undergoing such kind of things, means committing sins and again then coming up again committing sins? So what? So what is that? So what do you say? What is your thought process? Anyone? If some devotee also maybe again falling down. So what is the reason or not reason means whether Lord will forgive him or how he will come back?
Prabhuji, is it due to Vaishnava Aparadas?
Yes, it can be due to Vaishnava Prad. Yes, it can be due to weakness of mind also, weakness of heart also. It can be. Yes.
So if he is sincere to practice, still falling down, then Lord will like take him because he's a loving father. But
He's
if
not very
sincerity is
sincere
not,
because sincere means sincere means actually the sincerity will also be proportional to his action. So if he's sincere, he will pick up and not fall once again, because he becomes insincere, therefore he falls. Again, he tries to become sincere, he takes up. Again, he becomes insincere, he falls. It means there is a sincere, insincere, like that.
The weakness of heart also comes in picture. No? So weakness of heart means like he's sincerely trying, but because of his previous strong karmas or his bad habits, he's again falling down. But he is still, that frequency is reducing. Like we see the example now, that person is drinking all 7 days in a week, and he goes from 7 to 6 and 5 and 4. So gradually he's improving because he's sincere, but instantly he may not be able to stop it.
So it is because he is not maintaining his sattva properly. His association is not good. He is not becoming situated in devotional service. Again falling down. So he is not maintaining sattva because of bad association, because of too much focus on material things, not understanding the bhakti scriptures properly. Because without understanding bhakti scriptures properly and then leading a life of that kind, one cannot come to satguna. One may come to satguna for certain time, again he may fall down. So this is one thing. And whenever such thing happens, Lord, when he sees that this is always falling down, so then Lord may try to make him forget devotional service also, or may cover him, so that he can go away and do some material activity, and come back later. It may also happen. The reason is Ajamila was materialistic person and he chanted holy name. So for him there was no sin, no word like sin. He just was committing. So it may also happen for those who are initial people, those who have heard a lot and still committing sins. They will be guided by spiritual master and some Vaishnavas. They will seek some guidance. But those are very initial. They've just come to bhakti, or so, and then they may again go away and again commit some sin, again chant holy name, again come back. Like that, it may happen. But those who are actually guided by Vaishnavas, their sincerity says that they will seek some guidance from sincere Vaishnava. That I am falling down again, what I should do? I should give up all those things. So then they will take some strong steps under guidance and they will come back. So this is the only way. Therefore we have said that we should associate with the Vaishnava. यही इसीलिए बोला गया है कि अगर हम सतगुण में नहीं हैं, और सतगुण में होने के बाद भी जरूरी है कि we all have to associate with the Vaishnava, because Maya is very strong. Anytime Maya can delude a person. We are not free from all attractions. Yes. So we can be wrongly attracted or attracted in a wrong way. So anytime. So therefore we have to be under association of Vaishnavas so that we can get immediate guidance when they see some unfavorable behavior from our side, or our life has totally got changed. So then they will guide us. So this is the sincerity basically means. He has to take guidance, shelter of some Vaishnava and guide and take guidance. जैसे किसी को अगर मान लो बार बार बीमारी हो रहा है, तो उसको डॉक्टर के पास, प्रॉपर डॉक्टर के पास जाना पड़ेगा और बोलना पड़ेगा क्यों हो रहा है बीमारी. तो सेम वे, सेम थिंग इज डिस्कस्ड. So this is very, very important. Even apicheta suduracharo, when we are discussing apicheta durachara, so this also principle will fall here. That Prabhupada is saying that one should not keep on committing sins and thinking that Lord will forgive. One should take it in a positive sense. That's why I discussed about those who are non-devotees and those who are the supreme devotees. They're very perfect devotees. So for them also they may commit sin, nothing will happen. And for those who are non-devotees, they will also commit sin and they will go and chant here and there. So Lord is going to purify them slowly. But this is applicable for those who are sadhakas, who are the followers of Bhakti Rasami Sindhu, Rupa Goswami path, the path of devotional service, ultimately to attain bhava and prem bhakti, like that. Okay. Please read in Narad Pancharat.
In the Narad Pancharatra, there is a statement of submission accompanied by the desire of perfection. The devotee says, "My dear Lord, when shall that the day come when you will ask me to fan your body, and according to your pleasure you will say, you just fan me in this way." The idea in this verse is that the devotee is desiring to personally fan the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means that he is desiring to become a personal associate of Supreme Lord. Of course, any devotee in any capacity, either as a servant, friend, or conjugal lover, always has a direct association with the Lord. But according to his different individual taste, a person desires for just one of these relationships. Here the devotee is desiring to become a servant of the Lord and desire to fan the Lord. He does his internal energy. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, he also wishes that the personality of Godhead will be pleased to give him a direction as to how to fan the submission with the transcendental desire, or Lalsamayi Vinapati,
Yeah,
Vinpati,
Vigyapti.
Vigyapti, is the highest perfectional stage of spiritual realization. In the same Narad Pancharatra, there is another expression of submission, wherein the devotee says, "My dear Lord, O lotus-eyed one, when will the when will that day come when on the bank of the Yamuna I shall become just like a madman and continue to chant your holy name while insistent tears flow from my eyes." This is the another professional stage. Lord Chaitanya also desired that a moment will appear unto me as a 12 years of time, and the whole world will appear to me as a vacant on account of not saying you, my dear Lord. One should feelingly pray and become eager to render his particular type of service to the Lord. This is the teaching of all great devotees, especially Lord Chaitanya. In other words, one should learn how to cry for the Lord. One should learn a small technique, and he should be a very eager and actually cry to become engaged in some particular type of service. This is called laulyam, and
Hmm.
and such tears are the prize for the highest perfection. If one develops this laulyam or excessive eagerness for the meeting and serving the Lord in the particular way, that is the prize to enter into the kingdom of God. Otherwise, there is no material calculations for the value of the ticket by which one can enter into the kingdom of the God. The only price for such entrance is laulam lalasamai, or desire or great eagerness. According to the great learned scholars,
Okay, 1 minute. So this is a Lal Samai we have discussed earlier also. So one is to when I will be able to fan you, and you, Shripati, Bhagwan Lakshmi ke Pati, when you will call me and then tell that you please offer me this fan. Fanning कब करेंगे? And secondly, when I will become Tandav, when I will become mad, means I will do Tandav and the tears flowing from my eyes, means I will be dancing like a madman, here is mentioned. Tandav. On the bank of Yamuna, while chanting your holy name, constantly I will chanting your holy name and dancing, and tears are flowing from my eyes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that, Yuga aitam nimeshena. Nayanam galadha asrudha. So Nayanam galadha asru dharaya. So when the day will come, when all the two eyes will be filled with the tears, Vadanam, and Vadanam also is kampitam, the shivering of the body will also happen. So that is lalsamai, which is spoken after bhava. लालसामयी जो प्रेयर है वो भाव के लेवल के लोग बोलते हैं या भाव के बाद वाले. So we have discussed that also. Lalsamai is not for us. Basically, we pray that we are apradhi, we are sinful, please get me freed. So this is a Dainya Bodhika. Or we pray that when let my attraction be towards you like a girl and boy. So we are desiring something very strongly, yeah, for the Lord. Means this is not like we are not going to attain the lalsamay stage in the sadhaka stage, but sometimes we can pray like we are doing tulsi arti. Tulsi arti, that is lalsamay. So Prabhupada is saying ultimately a lolium. So this lolium also comes in bhava stage only there. Lolium. Hmm. So this lolium for Prabhupada says, na, one should cry for the Lord. One should learn this small technique and he should be very eager and actually cry to become engaged in particular type of service. This is called lolium. Now this is not particular kind of service in which we are doing right now, but this service is realized to us that I want to be in this form serving you, my Lord. That kind of attraction. Not that I'm in charge of some preaching center and I'm crying, my Lord, I want to be here only. I don't want to leave this. Please protect me. So that kind of lolium is not there. That should not be there. If one develops this lolium or excessive eagerness for meeting and serving the Lord in a particular way, the particular way again, don't match it with here. Yes, we can match it means when I will be chanting more names. But again, when we want to means make it with the post position and then number of followers or all these things, then it becomes corrupted actually. Yeah, one can desire that when I can preach and glorify you, my Lord, everywhere, that is okay. One can desire, or when I can chant your holy name more like other great Vaishnavas, when I will be having taste for holy name, that can is okay. So we should be careful. जब ये prayer का मतलब क्या है वो समझना चाहिए. Otherwise, there is no material calculation for the value of the ticket by which one can enter the kingdom of God. The only price for such entrance is lolium, lalasamayi, or desire and great eagerness. So lolium again is coming. Generally we say lolium api ek molyam koti sukriti koti janma sukriti na labhyate. कोटि जन्मों की सुकृति, millions of lives of sukriti, pious credits will be failure in front of a lolium. So that lolium actually is that greed is after bhava or at the bhava stage. So you can understand that is a lolium. So one can serve the Lord with little bit desire to please him, but one cannot imitate this lolium of becoming some associate immediately right now because he does not have any understanding of that stage. He cannot imitate. And one cannot drag this lolium to material world also, thinking that whatever department I'm running, I have a lolium for my department. No. Yes.
According to the great learned scholars, the whole Bhagavad Gita contains many authorized prayers, especially in the 11th chapter, where Arjuna prays to the universal form of the Lord. Similarly, in the Gautami Tantra, all the verses are called prayers. Again, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are hundreds of prayers to the Lord. So a devotee should select some of these prayers for his recitation. In Skanda Puran, the glories of these prayers are stated as follows. Devotees whose tongues are decorated always with the prayers to the Lord Krishna are always given a respect even by a great saintly person and sages, and such devotees are actually worshipable by the demigods.
Okay.
Those
So you just see here. So this is what Yamuna wala. Now we are discussing Istava Patha. So what is the difference between Stotra and Stava? Who will tell? क्या difference होता है? तो Stotra and Stava.
Stotra is Prabhuji from scriptures and Stava is from when devotee writes it.
ठीक. One devotee recites something, even including his emotion. If he's reciting some Gita shlok also with his emotion, in his local language. गीता श्लोक को इंग्लिश में बोल रहा है, जो भी बोल रहा है. So then that is not stotra, that becomes stava. Like we have heard, like sometime in ISKCON also, they were trying to change the Sansara Davan prayer to some local language, some English language or some other language. Then it could have become Stava. Stava and Stotra. Stotra means as it is, you just recite from scripture. Stava means you include your emotions, you include your language, everything, then you recite. So Stava Patha. So Prabhupada is saying we should do that. We should find out some prayers from Bhagavatam and recite in front of the Lord. So it is said, Muni Siddhanam Vandaniya Divo Kasham. So the Muni and Siddhas and Devatas all are glorifying a person. Sri Krishna Stavar Ratno Gher means whose tongue, Esam Jihva, Tam Twa Alankrita, whose tongue is decorated with jewel-like verses, or he has a treasure of jewel-like verses. Ugher means the, you can say, resort, or you can say the storehouse, abundance. The abundance of stavas are there on his tongue. And when such a devotee, and which istava? Sri Krishna istava, glorifying Krishna. When such verses are on the tongue of a devotee, Muni, Siddhas and Devatas, they glorify such. Namasya, and they also do Namasya. Namaskar करते हैं ऐसे भक्त को. So they are not like outside in Kali Yuga, people who have lot of money, people who have lot of fame, lot of YouTube following, तो उनको ज्यादा लोग बोलेंगे. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं. कृष्ण स्तव रत्नघैर येषाम जिह्वा त्व अलंकृता, जिसका जीव पे कृष्ण के स्तव हैं उसको ग्लोरीफाई कहते हैं. तो ये बताया. एंड व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट? सर्व पाप विनिर्मुक्तो विष्णु लोकम अवाप्नुयात्. तो वन हु सिंग्स देवाग्रे, देव के सामने जो गाता है, क्या गाता है? स्तोत्र स्तवस, दोनों. च ये गाए या वो गाए, दोनों गाए चलेगा. तो क्या होगा? उसको सारे पाप खत्म हो जाएंगे, विष्णु लोक मिल जाएगा. दैट इज मेंशन. यस, प्लीज गो अहेड. So those who are less intelligent.
Those who are less intelligent wants to worship a different demigods for some material gains rather than the worship Krishna. But here it is stated that a devotee who always engages in offering prayer to the Lord is worshipable even by the demigods themselves. The pure devotee have nothing to ask from any demigods. Rather, the demigods are anxious to offer prayers to the pure devotee. In the Narsimha Puran, it is stated, any person who comes before the deity of Lord Krishna and begins to chant different prayers is immediately relieved from all the reactions of sinful activities and become eligible without any doubt to enter into the Vaikuntha Loka. There is this specific statement in the Padma Puran, a person who honors a prasad and regularly eats it not exactly in front of the deity along with the Charnamrut, the water offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, which is mixed with the seeds of the Tulsi tree, immediately can achieve the result of pious activity, which are obtained through the 10,000 performance of sacrificial rites.
अच्छा, एक और ठीक है, इसमें थोड़ा सा चेंज है. यहाँ पे बोला यज्ञ आयुत कोटि पुण्यम, दैट इज 100 बिलियन sacrifice, not 10,000. It's mentioned which are obtained to 10,000 performance of sacrificial right. That is one ayuta means what? So ayuta means 10,000 and koti means 10,000 multiplied by 10 million. When you multiply, koti means 10 million. 10 million को 10,000 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो 100 बिलियन होगा. So 100 billion yagyas are equal to just eating prasadam and taking charnamrit. So pad jalena, yes.
Charnamrit is obtained in the morning while the Lord is being washed before the dressing scented with the perfumes and flowers. The water comes gliding down through his lotus feet and is collected and mixed with the yogurt. In this way, this Charnamrut not only becomes a very tastefully flavored but also has a tremendous spiritual value. As described in the Padma Puran, even a person who has never been able to give in charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in the other words, even no even one who has never done any pious activity will become eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead if he simply drinks the Charnamrut which is kept in the temple. In the temple, it is the custom that the Charnamrut be kept in the big pot. The devotee who come and to visit and offers a respect to the deity take the 3 drops of Charnamrut very submissively and feel themselves happy in transcendental bliss.
Okay. If you simply drink Charnamrita, you are going back to God. Now somebody will say, I will drink Charnamrita, I will commit sin. Then what do you say? How to reconcile the both statements? It's mentioned. It just he become eligible to enter into kingdom of God. Simply drinking Charnamrita. Yes.
Prabhuji, he will become eligible, but not immediately will go to the Vaikuntha. He will become eligible, maybe
But
after many, many
eligible means he's eligible means the flight will come and he will go.
yeah, maybe someday when he will remove or
No, when you are saying eligible means eligible. Uh,
The process has started, na, but
process.
not yet
it's
reached a
not
destination.
process is started or not. It's eligible means what? Eligible. Like are we saying we are eligible for Suddha Bhakti? No. Unless you Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma, not eligible. We may be eligible for Bhakti because we have attraction for Krishna, but we still have other desires. So we are eligible for Bhakti. But Suddha Bhakti, Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma. So then here said, are eligible for going to Kingdom of God. How is it? See. न दानम न हविर्येषां स्वाध्यायो न सुरार्चनम ते अपि पादोदकम पित्वा प्रयान्ति परमां गतिम. Those who drink the foot water of the Lord achieve the supreme goal, even if they have not performed a charity, sacrifice, deity worship. So Prabhupada has given nice flavor also. कुछ भी नहीं किया. प्रभुपाद का थोड़ा पर्पट में थोड़ा फ्लेवर भी है इसमें. वहाँ पर सिंपल भी लिखा है बट प्रभुपाद ने अच्छे से लिखा है यहाँ पे. और so ever Prabhupada was chastising too much. If you commit sin, nonsensical. Here is saying, if you drink Charnamrita, कुछ भी नहीं किया है वो. ना शास्त्र पढ़ा है, ना वेद पढ़ा है, ना सेक्रीफाइस किया है, ना वर्शिप किया है भगवान को. ही इज नॉट नेवर बीन एबल टू वर्शिप आल्सो इज रिटन. भगवान का वर्शिप भी नहीं किया उसने. इवन इस मेंशन ही हैज नॉट इवन डन एनी पायस एक्टिविटी. जस्ट सी, पायस एक्टिविटी कभी नहीं किया, मतलब पापी किया होगा ना वो. पापी किया. It's not done even pious activity means what? It's done pap only, na? And then we'll become eligible to enter kingdom of God if we simply drink Charnamrit, which is kept in the temple. so, so therefore, Bhakti's angas are very, very powerful. So he only thing he should not do. Therefore, we always discuss sin is not a big deal for devotional service. Only is aparadha. If he does not do aparadha, he's eligible. Even though he's committing sin also, without aparadh, if he's doing anything, without knowledge, if he is knowledgeable and drinking charnamrit and committing aparadh, then he will not go. Or committing sin, he will not go. Because he has the knowledge. Therefore, I'm saying, those who are sadhaka, if they are committing sin, they will not go. They have to purify. But those who are unknown people, कभी कुछ किया ही नहीं, पूरा मतलब बाहर से आया, कुछ नहीं, ना पायस एक्टिविटी किया है, ना वेद पढ़ा है, ना भगवान को बस चरणामृत पीने के लिए आता, वो निकल जाएगा. आप बोलोगे प्रभु जी ये क्या गड़बड़ चल रहा है. वो निकल रहा है और हम लोग भक्ति में आगे फंस गए. You got caught only. But another thing, he will only go to Vaikuntha, Chaturvida Mukti. Cannot become Narayan Parayan Bhakta. He may become Narayan Parayan after going to Vaikuntha, he may associate with Suddha Bhakta later. But in this life, if he associates Suddha Bhakta, then he again will continue Bhakti. It is a glory of one Anga Bhakti that without knowledge also one can go to Vaikuntha getting Chaturvida Mukti. Salok ke Samipya Sashti. But Rati nahi milegi usko. Rati means Parsadatvam. He will not become Parshad of the Lord in the sense like Hanuman, Arjuna, Uddhava, Rukmini. Not like that. They will simply go and relax there. थोड़ा बहुत सर्विस रहेगा, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं रहेगा. लाइक प्रेम प्रेम सेवा उत्तरा, हाँ, सुख ऐश्वर्य उत्तरा, वो सब मिलेगा आपको उस व्यक्ति को. लेकिन ये नहीं मिलेगा. इसके लिए अलग वो चीज है, उसके लिए भक्ति उसको करना ही पड़ेगा. तो ये एक एक अंग का ग्लोरी बताया गया. तो एक भक्ति के साइड से भी एक मार्ग जाता है. एक साधक बिना साधना किए भी मार्ग जाता है. इसका ये कहने का मतलब है, बिना साधना किए कोई अनजाने वाला व्यक्ति है तो उसका भी मार्ग एक जाता है. और एक साधक के साइड से भी मार्ग वैदी, फिर रागानुगा, फिर ये भी जाता है, दोनों जाता है. लेकिन इन दोनों में एक चीज है कि दोनों अपराध से रहित होना चाहिए, तभी दोनों का प्रोग्रेस होता है. इसका भी प्रोग्रेस तभी होगा, इसने अपराध किया तो इसका प्रोग्रेस, इसका भी रुक रुक जाएगा और इसका भी रुक जाएगा, दोनों का. ऐसा है. यस प्रभु.
So, Prabhuji, my question is a case study of a person like now, one of my relative. Uh, they like that lady is reading Bhagavad Gita from almost like not less than 40-45 years daily. So one chapter she'll recite, sometimes she'll recite the entire Bhagavad Gita also. But they are and they have strong faith like na that Gita will deliver me. So whatever I do, Gita will deliver me, and therefore they are fully into doing black magic and troubling people, giving them like na pain and like na lot of bad things they do. But they have a strong faith that Gita will deliver me. So with that faith, they are daily reciting Gita. So
Gita.
what's yes,
Okay,
Bhagavad Gita
okay.
they are reciting.
Okay.
So what is that? Prabhuji?
Only thing you can tell them, whatever you are saying is correct, but only thing, don't commit offense. ये जो श्रद्धा है आप रखो, किसी वैष्णव या किसी भगवान के दूसरे कोई अंगों के साथ, भक्ति के अंगों के साथ ऑफेंस मत करना कि ये अच्छा है, मतलब वो तुम लोग क्या जब नाम जप कर रहे हो, ये क्यों, यही करो, यही अच्छा है, वो क्या कर रहे हो. डोंट कमिट ऑफेंस. इफ यू जस्ट वॉट एवर यूर डूइंग, लेट इट बी. करो जो करना है करो. तुमको ब्लैक मैजिक कर रहे हो वो करना, तुम्हें श्रद्धा रखना है रखो, इसमें भगवान तुमको डिलीवर करेंगे. उसको बोल दो, कोई भी इश्यू नहीं है. बात सही है. दैट इज, अगर वो अपराध ना करे तो निकल जाएगा वो. लेकिन उसको गोलोक नहीं मिलने वाला, वो वैकुंठ में ही मिलेगा, चतुर्विधा मुक्ति, और कुछ नहीं.
मैं तो बोलता ही नहीं हूँ because I also fear them.
हाँ?
Going, I also fear them and meeting them because they are like a, a lot into black magic. So, but that with this Puri, I also feel at the same time that na faith of other people also breaks when they see such people like na going from decades and decades just with the faith that whatever I do, whatever sinful activity, whatever nasty thing I can do, this will save me. तो वो कहते हैं ना कि वो
एक्चुअली देखो, उसमें क्या है, इतना भी कॉन्फिडेंस से कोई व्यक्ति करता है इतना भी, हाँ, तो भगवान उसको गाइड करेंगे कहीं ना कहीं. तो अगर वो कोई अपराध कर देगा तो फिर वो फंस जाएगा. उसको समय लग जाएगा. या अगर उसको, देखो, ऐसा भी करे कि मैं कुछ भी करूं, हाँ, लेकिन उसको वास्तव में ज्ञान नहीं है. एक्चुअली आप सी, वी आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग हिज स्टेज एज ए सीइंग. देखो, ये समझ में आ रहा है ना आपको भी. उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि वो गलत कर रहा है. उसको क्या लग रहा है, मैं कुछ भी करूं, ब्लैक मैजिक भी करूं, मैं गीता पढ़ूंगा, मेरा को सब मैं उधार हो जाएगा मेरा.
yeah,
उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ये सब चीजें.
हाँ,
वो बस वो फेथ से गीता पढ़ रहा है. उसे उसे गीता में किसी ने तो फेथ दिया है, किसी वैष्णव से फेथ तो आया ही, और वो बस कर रहा है, तो उसका डिलीवरेंस होगा. ओनली थिंग, वो अपराध ना कर दे, बस इतना ही है. बाकी सब तो सब देख लेंगे भगवान. तो उसमें फेथ उसका छोड़ दो, बिकॉज डिवोशनल सर्विस इज सो पावरफुल ना, सो पावरफुल. Therefore, we are reading Bhakti Sindhu with the different understanding and angles. We are seeing that. Those, even if they're committing sins also, not in the Bhakti Marg under Acharya Parampara, not even doing Vaidhi Bhakti, no goal for Vaidhi Bhakti, no understanding where they are going, but having faith in one anga of Bhakti, बस इतना ही करूंगा मैं, चाहे मैं 1000 गलती कर रहा हूँ कोई बात नहीं, यही करूंगा बस, ये भी करूंगा वो भी, बट मैं गीता पढ़ूंगा तो उसको रिजल्ट मिलेगा। लेकिन अगर ये भी बोल पाना कि वो अपराध रहित है, ये आसान नहीं है। तो जो उसको रिजल्ट मिलेगा उसके हिसाब से, जितना अपराध उसका क्षय होगा उसके हिसाब से उसको रिजल्ट मिल जाएगा। अमेजिंग थिंग इज दिस ऑल्सो, एज वी से येषाम तो अतंगतम पापम जनानाम पुण्य कर्मणाम ते द्वंद्व मोह निर्मुक्तम भजन्ते माम दृढ़व्रता। हाउ कैन सम डू दृढ़व्रता इन भक्ति विदाउट ऑफ स्टॉपिंग हिज सिंस? मतलब अजामिल का भी आप देख सकते हैं, अजामिल बोलता रहा था नारायण 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 एंड कमिटिंग लॉट ऑफ सिंस, लॉट एवरी डे। एंड विश्वनाथ चौधरी ठाकुर सेइंग कि इस भक्ति महारानी was making him to commit sin because or the Lord's plan was there or his sanskaras were there previous, but he was already jivan mukta. He was just continuing the sins and she was not stopping sins because otherwise people will come to know bhakti has such a glories. So bhakti was hiding the glory. Bhakti Maharani was hiding her glory actually, and he was allowed to commit sins. He was just chanting Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And this personality, uh, now if somebody says, one more important thing which comes here. If somebody says, whatever I am doing, I have heard that holy name will purify, और मैं गीता पढ़ रहा हूं तो मैं जितना भी पाप कर रहा हूं मेरे सारे पाप कटेंगे क्योंकि मैं गीता पढ़ रहा हूं, और मैं ये कर रहा हूं, तो मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूं क्योंकि मैं ये नाम लूंगा तो पाप कट जाएंगे, ये अपराध हो गया। कौन सा है?
नाम के
नाम।
बल पे पाप करना।
हाँ, तो ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग में कोई करता है तो फिर वो नहीं जाएगा, वो फंस जाएगा। मतलब वो भगवान को, वो क्या कर रहा है, एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहा है, भगवान के नाम को एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहा है, उनकी प्रोसेस को। अजामिल के केस में वैसा नहीं था, ही वॉज नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, ही वॉज जस्ट कंटिन्यूइंग एंड चैंटिंग एंड सिंगिंग आल्सो बोथ। सो
बट वो तो प्रभु जी फिर जामिल के केस में तो अननोइंगली ही इज गेटिंग बेनिफिट ना, अज्ञात स्वीकृति ऐसा हो गया। यहाँ पर तो उसको फेथ है कि मैं करूंगा तो भी मुझे डिलीवर कर देगा, क्योंकि बोला गया है कि डिलीवर होता है। तो यहाँ तो फेथ है, मतलब एक वो ऑफेंस भी आ रहा है एक तरफ से देखेंगे तो ऑफेंस भी है कि नाम के बल पे पाप करना, बट ये भी तो फेथ है कि नाम इतना स्ट्रांग है कि मेरे पाप कुछ लगते ही नहीं है और सब अ,
this was
खुल
the
जाएगा
case in
पूरा।
in Vritrasura. When Vritrasura was to be killed, the sages in the heavenly planet, they inspired Indra, telling that Indra, you go and kill this Vritrasura. We are ready to perform chanting of holy name. After you kill him, we will chant holy name, and this holy name can clear ones from millions of lives of sins. So do not worry, we will chant holy name for you. And there Prabhupada writes, after killing Vritrasura, the pap, this what do you call, Pap Pisachani, the kind of the
हम्म।
ghost of sinful activities, she came and she started running behind Indra. And Indra ran and Indra hid himself in the lotus of Lakshmi for 1000 years because this Pap lady was waiting to devour him. So now, even though the sages said, but because that was offense, they try to misutilize or exploit the holy name for the purpose of committing sin. That was the reason. The Prabhupada writes also this is offense actually. That's why the holy name did not work. Now here in this case, uh, there can be some offenses. This kind of understanding will be there. कुछ कुछ offense लगेगा इसमें। अगर कोई जैसे आप बोल रहे कि who has never done any pious activity, was never read anything, but he's just drinking, he's a मतलब simple person, he's not having faith also, उतना उसको faith नहीं है उसको चरणामृत में, just पी रहा है वो चरणामृत। ऐसा faith करके मान लिया कि मैं जितना पाप करूंगा ये उतना मेरा पाप काट देगा चरणामृत, मैं करता ही रहूंगा पाप, इससे कोई मतलब नहीं है, तो वो अपराध हो जाएगा। एक्चुअली ये अपराध हो जाएगा। अगर दोनों चीज अनजाने में कर रहा है, वो पाप कर रहा है ठीक है, बट उसको ग्लोरी नहीं पता है भक्ति का, जस्ट आके भक्तों का संग ले रहा है, चरणामृत पी रहा है, जस्ट उसको थोड़ा बहुत पता है कि आना चाहिए भक्तों के संग में होना चाहिए, बट ये ज्यादा कुछ साइंस नहीं पता है, तो देन ही मे बी डिलीवर्ड। बट जब ये ऐसा दृढ़ करके लेना कि जैसे इंद्र का स्टोरी हमने देखा कि sages, even heavenly people also do not know the science of bhakti. They are also discussing in that way. Just, can you imagine the saintly people are in the heavenly planet, they are telling to Indra. And even Indra also does not know this philosophy. तो अब क्या बोलोगे? वो जाके वैष्णव का एक साल तक, 1 year of human year, he did it cutting the head of Vitrasura. 1 साल तक वित्रासुर का सर काटने में लगाया इंद्र ने. जैसे आपको कोई बोलेगा कि मान लो ये वैष्णव आपको मार डालेंगे, तो आपके पास चॉइस है, आप इसको मार डालो या तुम इसके द्वारा मर जाओ. हम्म, तो इंद्र ने बोला मैं इसको मारूंगा. इंद्र को पता लग गया था कि ही इज अ प्योर डिवोटी, बट स्टिल ही थॉट दैट आई विल किल हिम, एंड फॉर दैट आई विल स्पेंड 1 year टू किल हिम. सो 1 year, ह्यूमन 1 year, ही स्पेंड टू चॉप ऑफ हिज हेड. इतना टाइम लगाया. I think human 1 year is only 24 hours for demigod.
Yes.
So for him it's not a big deal. मतलब 24 घंटा एक दिन पूरा काटने में लगाया गला. गला काटने में. सो इसलिए तो देखो कितना सटल है ये चीज. नामनो बलाद यस्य ही पाप बुद्धि. नाम के बल पे पाप करना. अगर नाम का महिमा पता लग गया कि ये पाप को छीन करेगा, अब तो मैं और पाप करूंगा क्योंकि ये छीन करेगा पाप, तब वो अपराध में काउंट हो जाएगा. चन्नामृत का वैल्यू पता लग गया, चन्नामृत मैं पीऊंगा तो सारे पाप, अब तो मजा आ गया भाई, अब तो पाप भी करूंगा और चन्नामृत भी पीऊंगा, देखता हूँ अब तो सब काम अच्छा हो गया, तो ये अपराध हो गया, फिर उसका उद्धार नहीं होगा. तो अगर ये उनकी मेंटेलिटी है तो उद्धार नहीं होगा. ये बहुत क्लियर है.
Because the very point when they do these black magic and wrong things is that they don't differentiate कि कौन वैष्णव है, कौन अच्छा है, कौन बुरा है. वो तो अपने पर्पस के लिए कुछ भी करते हैं. मतलब they
देखो
go to
प्रभु,
extent of
nobody
killing the
can
person
cheat
also.
Krishna, nobody can cheat Krishna, they will be caught. It's not easy thing, but they will surely get benefit of drinking Charnamrit or reading Bhagavad Gita. They will get benefit, but their benefit is that they are only recurring the or taking the effect of a small amount of bhakti, not much, because they are doing this aparadh is there. If they might have been just doing it like a unknown person, and you go and then tell ki you should stop this also, then they, Are, this is I should not be doing this, huh? I should not be doing black magic. Yes, you should not do black magic because you are now reading Bhagavad Gita. Why you are doing it? Okay, I will stop it. So these kind of people are inoffensive. Means they understand. They can learn. But those people who confidently commit sins and they think that by chanting holy name everything will be. That's why Prabhupada is saying nonsensical. ऊपर बोला है ना nonsensical. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. उनका प्यूरिफिकेशन धीरे धीरे होगा, बहुत धीरे धीरे. वो लोग को वो मुक्ति नहीं मिलने वाली, वो भूल जाओ, वो नहीं होने वाला उनके साथ. यस प्रभु.
Prabhuji, one side we see that in our parampara, all the acharyas have done a lot of hard work to in lot of hard work done in the bhakti. Like Rupa Goswami has written so many scriptures and all these things. Prabhupada also written all this commentary, all these things, and all have done a lot of hard work. And one side we see that by just doing just drinking the charnamru, just offering the tulsi to Lord, we get some such a things. Little bit, can you elaborate that the things clearly? It's
So
one side
hard work.
our acharya has done a very hard work to please the Lord, and one side they're getting the benefits very like just drinking the charnamrut, we get the Vaikuntha. I'm just a little bit
हाँ
confused.
प्रभु, that is why bhakti is so powerful. Acharyas, Acharyas, they cry in front of Lord, my Lord, your bhakti is so powerful. Just such a glorious personality. Even more powerful than Lord is his bhakti. Because Lord cannot be pleased so easily. But bhakti can be done by anyone. भक्ति कोई भी कर सकता है. भगवान को प्रसन्न करना आसान नहीं है, लेकिन भक्ति वो करने लगेगा तो भगवान प्रसन्न हो ही जाएंगे. आप सोचो, ये है वास्तव में. नाउ yes, there are the right ways of doing devotional service, Vaidhi sadhana or all these things. And there is a normal way without knowledge, and there is some offensive way. So many things are there. But when we are learning the bhakti principle, we should always understand that bhakti is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Like a sun. Sun is so powerful, but because of some cloud, it is not visible. Once the cloud is removed, the sunlight will be felt like anything. It will be intolerable. So the bhakti is glory so much that once the aparadhas cloud are removed, then the bhakti will shine like anything. That's why we are struggling hard in chanting and other things. Basically, we are removing offenses actually. Our pace of bhakti is good only. उसको भक्ति जैसे कर रहे हो करोगे ना, तो एक बार ऑफेंस निकलेगा तो वही भक्ति इतना साइन करेगा। एक एक जो प्रोसेस हम जिसकी बात कर रहे हैं, चरणामृत का, तुलसी की सेवा, वैष्णव की सेवा, भगवान का आरती का दर्शन, ये सब का रिजल्ट हमको समझ में आ जाएगा। क्यों? उस समय भक्ति संजायते भक्ति, भक्ति दूसरे भक्ति को जन्म दे, मतलब इट विल इंक्रीज द भक्ति by doing any activity, because Narad Muni says, now when I've got a spiritual body, whenever I remember Krishna, immediately he comes in my heart, immediately he becomes present. That is the quality of bhakti. You can attract Krishna. Sarva akarshani, Krishna akarshani, we have read na, bhakti ka, प्रेम की भक्ति का क्या है, कृष्ण आकर्षणी। तो कृष्ण को आकर्षण, उसको खींच लेंगे भगवान को। तो अभी वो नहीं हो पा रहा, ऑफेंसेज है, लेकिन भक्ति में पावर है। चरणामृत पी के, भगवान का स्तव गा के, भगवान का स्तोत्रम गा के, संप्रार्थनात्मिका, दैन्य बोधिका, लालसामयी, nothing is fruitless, everything is highly, highly powerful. So even though acharyas are doing a great hard work to teach us what is the right kind of bhakti and we should protect ourselves, so acharya will not preach some हेजी भक्ति। हेजी भक्ति नहीं, जिसमें भगवान बहुत ही कृपालु हैं, वो हर एक को चांस देते हैं, बट आचार्य जब आते हैं तो वो एक दे सेट अ पाथ, परंपरा, and then they say you follow this, then you will be successful. Because on other ways, in other paths, success is a little dubious also. Though bhakti is powerful, but if you commit offenses, then it may take many, many lives also. But if you do not commit offenses, then, but on the in the path acharya parampara, even though somebody commits offense, because of his bhakti, Krishna is pleased. Because of his endeavor, Krishna is pleased, and Krishna will purify him. And Krishna will also follow the acharya's promise to his disciples. The acharya say, I will take you back home, back to Godhead. Then Krishna will also try to purify these people through certain, means whatever the Narad Muni says or Acharya Prabhupada says, whatever. So these are the things. Acharya Parampara. Prabhupada writes a very nice purport in one place. Yes. Yeah, Narad, he says actually, Soham Priyasya Paradevataya Nasimha Virincha Gita. So he says, Prahlad Maharaj says that, oh Nrsimhadev, you are so dear, Soham Priyasya Paradevataya, Leela Kathastava, Nrsimha Virincha Gita. So I will be singing your Leela Katha in the Acharya Parampara. Virinchi means the Brahma. And then what? Anjasa Anugrinan. Very quickly, I will, titarmi, this world I will cross over. Guna Vipramukto. So, titarmi, Anugrinan, Vipramuक्तो, तुरंत ही पार कर जाऊंगा, बस आपका लीला कथा का गान करके निकल जाऊंगा, मैं संसार के ऊपर चला जाऊंगा. And then Padyugalaya Hamsa Sangha. So that verse says basically this thing only. That in Parampara, he is so confident, Prahlad Maharaj. When I am following Parampara, I am sure for success. मेरे को सक्सेस मिलेगा. बाकी पाथ में थोड़ा सक्सेस है, लेकिन लेट भी हो सकता है, समझ में नहीं आएगा कब मिलेगा. इसमें वैसा नहीं है. Therefore we are reading the Tattva. So when we know the Tattva, we know where we are stuck, कहाँ फंसे हैं, कैसे हमें आगे बढ़ना है, सब हमें पता रहेगा. एक अंधकार में रहेंगे, भक्ति करेंगे, तो फिर उस समय ना भक्ति का ग्लोरी पता रहेगा, ना अपना स्टेज पता रहेगा, किधर फंसे हैं हम लोग. बस चलता रहेगा, और उसमें भक्ति भी नहीं पता रहेगा. जैसे आजामिल को कुछ पता ही नहीं था भक्ति के बारे में. So like that. Some see, these things are such an important. We have heard sometime a lecture of in Chopati, there was some person. He never took to mala very seriously, and then somebody asked, why who are you? They said, because why I did not become serious? Because I see you treat guest very nicely, but you don't treat those who are sadhakas. That's why I wanted to remain only the guest, because you every day give me some hug, some good words, some toffee, some kind of prasadam. But that is, this kind of examples are for those who are not serious sadhakas. Such examples may inspire those people, but ultimately everyone has to fly his own plane, not depending upon others. कि भैया तुम मेरे को टॉफी कब खिलाओगे, तभी मैं आपके साथ रहूंगा, हाँ, या भक्ति करूंगा। ये टॉफी खिलाने के लिए भक्ति नहीं हो रही है। So for appreciation, if you're not appreciating, then better I remain a simple bhakta. तत्व और भक्ति वी शुड बी नोइंग, किधर क्या तत्व है गोस्वामी ने भर भर के लिखा है। हम पढ़ रहे हैं ना इसको, अभी तत्व क्लियर हो रहा है कि नहीं? यस, एनीवन, कुछ समझ में आ रहा है ना?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Because we are discussing from various ways, various angles also. As Prabhupada said, अब सिन किया, लेकिन वो किसके लिए अप्लीकेबल नहीं है, किसके लिए अप्लीकेबल है, वो भी है। और यहाँ पे भी ये बात हो रहा है, अब यहाँ पे तुरंत प्रभुपाद जी बोल रहे हैं कि तुरंत भाग जाएगा। अब इसमें भी हमने देखा कि किसके लिए अप्लीकेबल है, किसके लिए नहीं है। तो ये सब चीजें अलग अलग जगह पे दिया हुआ है, भागवतम में या विश्वनाथ चौथ ठाकुर के कमेंट्रीज में दिया हुआ है ये सब चीजें। तो वी आर ब्रिंगिंग दोज थिंग्स टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस पॉइंट क्लियरली। यस, नाउ विल रीड स्वाति माता जी देर। नहीं, ओके, ज्योति माता जी कैन रीड इन द हरि भक्ति सुधोदय।
Yeah. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
In the Hari Bhakti Sudhas here.
Yes, okay. I'm just requesting that like my voice is audible or not.
ऑडिबल? हाँ ठीक है, थोड़ा कम है, 1 मिनट, अभी बोलिए।
Yeah, Hari Bhakti Shudhodaya. There is a statement about the incense which is offered in the temple. When the devotees smell the good fragrance of the incense which is offered to the deity, they become cured of poisonous effects of material contamination. As much as one becomes cured of snake bite by smelling the prescribed medicinal herbs. The explanation of this verse is that there is an herb found in the jungles which expert persons know how to use to revive the consciousness of one who is bitten by a snake. Simply by smelling that herb, one becomes immediately relieved of the poisonous effects of snake bite. The same example is applicable when a person comes to visit the temple and smells the incense offered to the deity. He is cured at that time from all his material contamination. Any devotee coming into the temple should always offer something to the deity, fruit, flower, incense, etc. If one cannot offer anything in cash, something else must be offered. In India, the system is that all the ladies and gentlemen who come in the morning to visit the temple bring so many things. Even one morsel of rice or one morsel of flour can be offered. It is a regulatory principle that one should not go to see a saintly person or a deity in the temple without any offering. The offering may be very humble or it may be priceless. Even a flower, a little fruit, a little water, whatever is possible, must be offered. So when a devotee comes to offer something to the deity in the morning, he is sure to smell the good fragrance of the incense. And then at once he will become cleansed of the poisonous effect of the material existence.
Okay. So now this is देखो, अभी नैवेद्य स्वादो, नैवेद्य स्वादो, या नैवेद्य आस्वाद। तो नैवेद्य स्वादो जो भगवान को ऑफर होता, ये तो हो गया ना, पहले नैवेद्यम का तो हो गया, ठीक है। नैवेद्यम अभी क्या चल रहा है? अच्छा, पाद्या स्वादो भी हो गया, दिस इज चन्नामृत। चन्नामृत इज ऑल्सो डन। एंड दिस इज अन्नम, अन्न नैवेद्यम, ये भी हो गया। अन्न नैवेद्यम हो गया, चन्नामृत हो गया। अभी हम पढ़ रहे हैं धूप सौरभ्यम। भगवान को जो धूप लगता है उसका सुगंध को सौरभ्यम बोलते हैं, सुगंध। तो उसको सूंघने से भी क्या होता है, भक्ति होता है। हम्म? आघ्राणम यद हरेर दत्त धूप उच्चिष्टस्य सर्वतः। धूप का उच्चिष्ट अगर किसी ने उसके घ्राण में, उसके नाक में गया, तो फिर क्या होगा? तद भव व्याल दस्तानाम नस्यम कर्म विशापहम। ये जो सांप के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, सांप के बारे में, जो सांप काटता है तो औषधि चाहिए, उसी तरीके से ये औषधि है, भगवान का धूप का सुगंध औषधि है भव सागर के सांप से बच के, विष से बचने के लिए। तो दैट इज व्हाट मेंशन्ड हियर। तो snake consciousness is revived by some herbs found in the similar way. The same example is given. A person when he comes to temple, smells the incense offered to the deity, he is cured at that time of all material contamination. This is the thing. So इसलिए अगरबत्ती ऑफर करते हैं हम लोग। क्यों करते हैं? ताकि सांप का विष चला जाए। कौन सा सांप है? भवसागर का सांप। क्या काम क्यों नहीं कर रही है? ठीक है, ये हो गया। एंड Prabhupada is adding here one thing, that one should come with something in temple. One should not come empty handed. At least flower, little fruit one should offer to the Lord. Hmm. So that what happens, he's sure to smell the good fragrance of the incense, and then at once he will become cleansed of the poisonous effect of man. So Prabhupada is saying one should offer some rice, some morsel of flour. In previous times such a facility was there. Now it is not there. Now there is only hundi. Hundi means only money. One is to offer money. Hmm. Generally people feel comfortable to offer some rice, flour, ये सब। लेकिन पैसा किसी के से निकलता नहीं है, उतना आसान नहीं रहता है। We see many people, they may not give money, but they may give something else. So, so that is there. So therefore, Krishna, as here also is mentioned, donation is another thing, but in general, people should offer these things like rice and other things. This is good.
Okay. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes.
It is stated in the Tantra Shastra, if the smell of the garland which is offered to the deity in the temple enters into the person's nostrils, immediately his bondage to the sinful activities becomes clear. And even if one has no sinful activities, still by smelling such remnants of flowers, one can advance from Mayavadi to devotee. There are several instances of this, a prime one being the advancement of the four Kumaras. They were impersonalist Mayavadis, but after smelling the remnants of flowers and the incense in the temple, they turned to become devotees. From the above verse, it appears that the Mayavadis or the impersonalists are more or less contaminated. They are not pure. It is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, one who has not washed off all reactions of sinful activities cannot be a pure devotee. A pure devotee has no more doubts about the supremacy of the personality of Godhead, and thus he engages himself in Krishna consciousness and devotional service. A similar statement in the Agastya Samhita, just to purify the impurities of our nostrils, we should try to smell the remnants of flowers offered to Krishna in the temple.
Yes, okay. Yes, what is the question?
Related to the previous point now, when you were saying that we should give that like food items also, not just money.
Yes.
So the one question related to that, because like if we think from our organization point of view, there are many people who want to give rice and dal and all of things, and they give best to the capacity also, like good quality rice, good quality items they will give. But due to our standardization in kitchen and multiple places, we may not be able to accept those items. Right? Like now, I heard in like I'm not named a temple, but in one place, what happened that one person wanted to give rice. The kitchen department said that we don't want this rice because we don't use this rice. but to give Lakshmi only. So that person became disappointed and he said, "Okay, you people now just want money only. What I'm giving is not." So taking the item, giving item is fine from our side, but from the taking side also it becomes a challenge that where they will use, because now the system is also not like previous Brahmana where they would distribute the surplus items to other people they don't require. So how do we balance out from the both points?
Yes, this is the point. Very good point. When too much institution becomes too much institution oriented, everything machine, खट 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 खट, ये सब्जी काटने की मशीन, खट 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 खट, चपाती बनाने की मशीन, खट 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 खट, जब ये बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है तो यही वाला राइस जमेगा, सबको यही चाहिए, ये सब चीजें उसका इल इफेक्ट है एक्चुअली। ये पहला चीज है। दूसरी चीज ये भी है हम्म, कि the rice can be used at other place, not that everybody like it can be used for some, अगर if you are using like 100 kg rice and then putting some 10 kg rice, उसमें क्या है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला उसमें, तो उतना बहुत लिया जा सकता है। या उस डिवोटी को बोल सकते हैं कि प्रभु आप ये वाला ब्रांड का राइस खरीद के ले दे दो तो अच्छा रहेगा, ताकि सभी लोग को इक्वल लगे ऐसा, तो वो भी एक अच्छा तरीका है बोलने को, कि आप अगर राइस ही देना है तो जस्ट ये वाला ब्रांड का दे दो, आप इसकी बजाय ये वाला दे दो, तो दैट विल बी मोर गुड फॉर हिज साइड, तो एटलीस्ट वो भी क्लेरिफाई हो जाएगा। अगर कोई एकदम नया है जो कुछ नहीं जानता दे रहा है, तो आई आई थिंक दैट इट शुड बी एक्सेप्टेड, because he is giving out of affection and some devotion for the Lord, and it should not be rejected. But those who are regularly giving, they can be told that you can you give this brand because this is what we are bringing, and otherwise people may, ultimately people should not complain also. Nowadays, so what happens? So one thing I said about institution, another thing is we have a program for many people, like some if the prasadam comes from temple and it is of not of good quality, then people will complain कि अरे ये कैसा प्रसाद बना रहे हैं, तो एक वो कंप्लेन भी आ जाता है कि अभी कोई बड़ा व्यक्ति आ गया, उसे प्रसाद खिलाने को बिठाया गया तो बोला अरे क्या प्रसाद है, एक वो प्रॉब्लम है। तो साधु एक हो गए, और एक हो गए एम्प्लॉयज, और एक हो गए प्रोग्राम वाले भक्त, और एक हो गए कुछ और एलाइट भक्त। So there are so many things are there. So therefore there are some challenges are surely there. It's not like regular temple. Hmm. Prabhupada is speaking from that point of view also, that earlier in the villages, the temples, you not to be so much like institutionalized, where just only one cooking happens. So whatever they give, they make it. That was simplicity. And it has a pros and cons. In modern times, whatever institutes we are running, it has pros and cons. Therefore, the money is wanted all the time. Money, money, money. तो वही मैं बता रहा हूँ कि आ, ये कलयुग का ऐसा नेचर ही है, पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था एक्चुअली। Earlier it was not like that. Even people were also conscious what kind of rice should be given. It should not be like a low quality of rice somebody is giving. That is also not good from the
नहीं, लोग
person.
अच्छे ही देते हैं, मतलब द केस व्हिच आई एम टेलिंग इफ द पर्सन इज गिविंग गुड क्वालिटी बासमती राइस, बट अभी वो बासमती मतलब बिरयानी वाला राइस बना रहे हैं। अब बिरयानी जब बनेगा तब बनेगा, मतलब वो नॉर्मल यूज में नहीं होता है,
Therefore you
तो
find
स्टोर करने का प्रॉब्लम होगा, वो सब होगा।
therefore you find if you give such thing to some centers, they will
हम्म।
accept it, because centers में उनको ज्यादा कुकिंग नहीं रहता है, they are like, so whenever the big cooking is happening for many people, and it is responsible for so many things, I don't think even if you give it in Udupi also they will accept it, because in Udupi also means they keep on cooking for mass people. So you have to check whether in Udupi, Tirupati, whether they also accept any kind of donation. They may not use it. Because
वो
उनका
क्या कंफ्यूजन हमको भी आ जाता है। जैसे संक्रांति है तो संक्रांति में नॉर्थ इंडिया में हम लोग खिचड़ी दान करते ही हैं, खिचड़ी दान करने का कल्चर है। अब कोई लेगा ही नहीं तो हमको भी लगता है कि क्यों दो, जाके फिर लक्ष्मी बांट दो जाके वो भी एक क्वेश्चन आने लगता है कि इवन दो वी आर गेटिंग ऑल द आइटम्स, या फिर पीपल विल गो एंड दे विल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट टू नीडी पीपल, कि जो खुशी खुशी ले ले। तो कहते हैं क्यों मंदिर में जाके देना, मंदिर में जाके देने जाओ तो चार नखरे और रहते हैं, ये नहीं लाए वो नहीं लाए, ऐसा मतलब ये ऐसा वाला क्वालिटी वो। उससे बेटर नीडी पर्सन को दे दो जो अप्रिशिएट तो करेगा कि हमें कुछ तो मिला खाने के लिए.
Some brahmanas can be given, some centers can be given. Centers will accept, I will say. Centers will accept. Because centers.
So that can be, I think, channelized through, like you brought a very good point कि नया पर्सन है तो मना नहीं करना चाहिए, ले लेना चाहिए. और फिर हमारे पास से we can have facility to channelize it to the right place. May not be always community kitchen में जाए या DT kitchen में जाए.
Yes,
चैनलाइज कर सकते हैं हम उसको लेके अच्छे से.
yes. वो DT किचन है स्पेशल. DT किचन के लिए तो कुछ नहीं लिया जाएगा, बिकॉज वो तो स्पेशल किचन है.
Right.
But devotees kitchen में भी, yeah, it has to be channelized. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So here we are reading. Prabhupada quotes the example of this is a dhupa saurabhyam is done. Now we are reading malya saurabhyam, means smelling the flower garland. Just see one anga of bhakti. This is also one anga of bhakti. Smelling the flower garland, smelling the dhupa offered to the Lord. So malya saurabhyam, dhupa saurabhyam. So what is malya saurabhyam? Sadyo vilayam ayati papa panjara bandhanam. So panjar means piles of papa. So piles of papa bandhanam will be finished. Panjar bandhanam will be finished. Vilayam means finish हो जाएगा. सद्यो तुरंत finish हो जाएगा. कैसे? Simply pravishte nasika randhre. If somebody is smelling the flower garland offered to the Lord, nirmalya saurabhe, so then sadyo immediately pap panjara bandhanam, he will become free from piles of sinful activities. This is mentioned. Kumara's pastime comes in third canto. They were Mayavadis. They became devotees just by smelling. It means the Mayavadis, Prabhupada says, are not pure. And when their sins are destroyed, they became devotee. And Prabhupada adds this point here. A Suddha Bhakta cannot be sinful. Very, very important. Therefore, we say to become sinless is a qualification also for Suddha Bhakti. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam aham tvam sarvapapi mokshamismi masuchaha. So, sinless means somebody may be doing some pious activity. No, sinless means no, only bhakti karega. वो sinless है वो. He is not committing any sin. He is only focused around doing some bhakti process. Sinless. Prabhupada is saying a pure devotee has no more doubt about supremacy of the Lord, and one who has not washed off all reactions of sinful activity cannot be a pure devotee. He cannot be pure. A pure devotee is always free from sins. It means he has executed so much devotional service, or he has surrendered to the Lord, that Lord has taken away all his sins. Like that. So these both things are added. Mayavadi are impersonalist, they are not pure. Therefore, one example is given, the four Kumaras. Actually, four Kumaras are incarnation of Supreme Lord. So now, why Prabhupada is saying they are not pure? This is not simply material impurity wala ka hai. This is they do not have knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They only understand he is a Brahman. That impurity is talked about. They're not like sinful people like four Kumaras. Can you understand? Are they sinful? They're already great saintly people. The first born son from Brahma. First four people. And they are called incarnation of Godhood in the first canto, third chapters. First comes Narada, then so Narada का नाम, नारद से पहले इनका आता है. चतुष कुमार का नाम सबसे पहले आता है incarnation of Godhead में. They are Vibhuti avatar. Vibhuti. They are Vibhutis of the Lord. So they have come for preaching Jnana, Vairagya. Jnana, Vairagya. So the four items: Tapasya, Jnana, Vairagya, Vidya, like that. So the four Kumaras are not pure in the sense they have not got the complete knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are still stuck with the impersonalism. And so they got purified and they took to devotional service. In the similar, it's mentioned the Pap Panjara bandhanam. So Vilayam, Sadyo Vilayam Ayati Pap Panjara bandhanam. Pravishte, Nirmalayam. तो निर्मालय का जो भी सौरभम हमारे नाक में जाता है उससे प्यूरिफिकेशन होता है. Yes, please go ahead.
In the Vishnu Dharmottara, there is a statement about touching the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said Only a person who is initiated as a Vaishnava is executing devotional service in Krishna consciousness has the right to touch the body of the deity. In India, there was agitation during Gandhi's political movement because the low-born classes of men like street sweepers and chandalas are prohibited, according to the Vedic system, from entering the temple. Due to their unclean habits, they are prohibited, but at the same time, they are given other facilities so they may be elevated to the highest grade of devotional service by association with the pure devotees. Born in any family is not barred, but he must be cleansed. That cleansing process must be adopted. Gandhi wanted to make them clean simply by stamping them with the fictitious name Harijana, children of God. And so there was a great tug of war between the temple owners and the Gandhi's followers. But
Okay. Here, see, this is a specialty of Prabhupada. If you see the verse from Rupa Goswami Pad, what Rupa Goswami Pad writes here. So Agastya Samhitayam Agranam Gandha Puspade Architasya Tapodhana Vishuddhi Syad Anantasya Granasya Abhidhiyate. ये हो गया, ठीक है. नाउ द अंगा विच वी आर लर्निंग इज श्री मूर्ते स्पर्शनम. इवन मूर्ति को स्पर्श करना भी एक भक्ति है, वो भक्ति का अंग है. सो स्पृष्ट्वा विष्णुर अधिष्ठानम पवित्र श्रद्धयान्वितः पाप बंधे विनिर्मुक्त सर्वान कामान अवाप्नुयात्. सो पवित्र एंड श्रद्धा, one who is Shraddha and who is a pure, he can touch the Vishnu's murti. And then what happens? His pap will finish and his all desires will be fulfilled. Whatever he had desired, his desire will be fulfilled. So now Prabhupada ji is saying only a person who is initiated as a Vaishnava and is executing devotional service in Krishna conscious has a right to touch the body of a deity. Now, Pavitra, it's mentioned, and Shraddhayanvita there. Means one is Pavitra, pure. So, Prabhupada is basically also applying this principle in our Krishna consciousness temples. He's saying who can touch deity. Not that anyone can touch deity. Who can touch deity? Who is initiated as a Vaishnava and is executing devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Basically, body of deities which are in temple, they are touched only by Brahmanas. Not even by first initiated. So this is there. But Prabhupada is not making here distinction of first or second. He's saying one who is executing devotional service but initiated by a Vaishnava, as a Vaishnava. So this is a Prabhupada is mentioned. Now, पवित्र एंड श्रद्धान्वित, जिसको श्रद्धा है और जो पवित्र है. पवित्र मतलब he has taken bath, he has done आचमन, एटलीस्ट उतना तो रहना चाहिए ना, उसको डीटी टच की. इसलिए ये मतलब है, ये भी इसको मतलब समझना चाहिए. पवित्र का मतलब केवल स्नान करके नहीं हो गया. स्नान करने के बाद therefore it is mentioned in कलयुगा स्नान एव ही प्रसादम. स्नान बस कर लिया. कलयुग में इतना बुरा है कि स्नान को ही प्रसाद मान लिया. So what is a snan? Snan means after snan one has to apply tilak on the body. So that Prabhupada says, स्नानम एव ही प्रसादनम, ये कलयुग का लक्षण है. एंड ऐसे 6-7 लक्षण है वो बताते 12th कैंटो में. Having long hairs, especially for the male people, having long hairs, lamba hairs. So this thing, lavanyam kesha dharanam. Long hairs means you are beautiful. लावण्यम केश धारण, लावण्य मीन्स ब्यूटीफुल, केश धारण तो लंबे लंबे केश बनाए. माताओं के लिए ठीक है, दैट इज ओके, बट फॉर मैन इट शुड नॉट बी लंबे लंबे केश है नहीं, इतना नहीं. वन शुड इमीडिएटली कट, उसको कटिंग करना चाहिए. ये कलयुग के लक्षण है. स्नानम एव ही प्रसादम, कि स्नान हो गया बस उतना ही हो गया, यही हो गया प्रसाद हो गया, मतलब हमारा हो गया अब पूरे. तो स्नान करने के बाद प्रभुपाद जी बोलते वन शुड अनॉइंट बॉडी विद तिलक, chant the name of the god. Those of Brahmana, they should do Gayatri 3 times. That is Snanam actually. स्नानम ऐसा नहीं कि केवल. तो यहाँ पे वही चीज बोला गया है कि पवित्र का मतलब उसको प्रॉपर आचमन करके तिलक लगा के फिर वो भगवान के विग्रह को छू सकता है. और श्रद्धा भी रहना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि मिट्टी है पत्थर है ये भगवान है. तो ऐसा श्रद्धा रहना चाहिए व्यक्ति को. So then, just by doing that, what will happen? Pap bandhe vinurmukta sarvan kaman, and his desires will be fulfilled, and his all this sinful shackle bondage will finish. And then Prabhupada says that Gandhi's political movement, because the low-born classes of men like street sweepers and chandalas are prohibited according to the Vedic system from entering the temple. Due to their unclean habits, they are prohibited. But at the same time, they are given other facilities so that they may be elevated to the highest grade of the devotional service by associating with the pure devotees. Now, that is true. अभी कोई स्ट्रीट स्वीपर को क्यों मंदिर में आना है? ये पहले बहुत चर्चा चला है। उसको हाथ पैर धो के स्नान करके आना चाहिए, है कि नहीं? तो ये ब्राह्मणिकल सिस्टम है, बात सही है. Again, but somebody may say that they are not allowed also. So there can be some strict process of this thing, because earlier the Vedic system was strict also, Brahmanas were strict. But then Prabhupada is saying, Prabhupada is not condemning it there. He is saying, due to their unclean habits, they are prohibited, but at the same time, they are given other facility that they can associate with pure devotees. Like Srila Prabhupada is sitting in ISKCON, every temple is sitting. So many people are coming and taking in darshan. They are reading Prabhupada books or associating with the devotees. So that is the other way of doing it, rather than a strict Vedic principle temple. A man born in any family is not barred, but he must be cleansed. तो वो क्लींसिंग कैसे होगा? शुद्ध भक्त के संग से क्लींसिंग होगा. तो पहले मंदिर आने से ही क्लींसिंग का प्रोसेस चालू होता था कि आप साफ होके ही आओ. अब यहाँ पे है कि आप शुद्ध भक्त के सामने आओ, देन ही विल प्यूरिफाई यू by darshan of Suddha Bhakta, by offering obeisances to Suddha Bhakta, offering some flower to Suddha Bhakta. So you are getting gradually purified. But Harijan, then he said Harijan. Now this is another problem. The Gandhi started doing Harijan movement. Everybody is Harijan. Nobody is not required to go to temple, not required to associate with pure devotee. Just I will rubber stamp, call them Harijan. बस हरिजन हो गए आप सभी. तो दो मेथड बताए गए. शुद्ध भक्त का संग लेके प्यूरिफाई हो जाओ. लाइक सबरी वॉज प्यूरिफाइड बाय एसोसिएशन ऑफ मातंग ऋषि. यस, नारदा प्यूरिफाइड मिगरारी, वाल्मीकि. दे वर नॉट अलाउड टू गो टू टेम्पल. ठीक है. हरिदास ठाकुर वॉज नॉट अलाउड टू गो टू जगन्नाथपुरी, Jagannath temple. So he was chanting the holy name. He was purified by association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chanting of holy name. So in this way, there is a two process. And this third process is Gandhi process, which is not bona fide process. ये आजकल के लोग का जैसे ये आते हैं कौन, जय भीम वाले. जय भीम वाला कोई तत्व नहीं लाइफ में, कुछ नहीं है. कुछ ना समझ में. अभी कॉकरोच पार्टी भी आई है, पता है ना आप लोग, कॉकरोच पार्टी भी है. ऐसे फालतू फालतू के लोग हैं, टाइम पास करने वाले लोग. तो ये यूजलेस पीपल, just making some propaganda with some rubber stamp kind of names and some qualification they have taken. It has no value. There has to be some bona fide process to purify people. Then it is acceptable. Not because I'm a great orator or writer, I will write constitution laws, or I'm a great freedom fighter, I will make the law for Harijan. This is not applicable. This is not allowed. Yes, please read ahead. But anyway, the present law, अच्छा ये पढ़ लिया क्या?
हाँ, in वराह पुराण.
ये हो गया ना?
Yes, Prabhuji.
हाँ, तो ये वाला डिस्कस करते हैं एक मिनट. The present law is the law of all scriptures, that if anyone is purified, he can enter into the temple. Actually, that is the proposition. Only one who is properly initiated, who is properly following the rules and regulation, can enter and touch the deity, not all. No, here also Prabhupada is telling who is properly initiated, properly following rules and regulation, then only can touch. And one who touches the body of deity following such a regulatory principle is immediately delivered from contamination of material sins, and all of our desire becomes fulfilled without delay. So amazing. It means those brahmanas who are serving deities, who are doing Sodasat Upchar, addressing the deities, they are highly blessed. Their desires are fulfilled, and their sins are also finished. Yes.
Yeah. In the Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising the scene of the deity Sri Krishna in the temple. A devotee says, there, my dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to the Vrindavan and sees the deity of Govinda Deva is free from the courthouse of Yamraj and is allowed to enter into the highest planetary system, in which reside the demigod. This means that even an ordinary person who goes to Vrindavan out of inquisitiveness and by chance sees the temple, especially that of the Govinda Deva, even if he is not elevated to the spiritual kingdom, is still assured promotion to the higher planetary systems. This means that simply by visiting the deity of Govinda in Vrindavan, one becomes highly elevated in pious life. In the Skanda Purana, there is the following description of the result of seeing Arti, worship of deity. If someone sees the face of the Lord while Arti is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reactions coming from many, many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from the killing of Brahmana or similar prohibited activities. As we have already explained, there are different ceremonies to be observed, such as the birthday of Krishna, the birthday of Lord Ramachandra, the birthday of some prominent Vaishnava, the ceremony of Jhulan Yatra with the Lord sitting on a swing, and Dola Yatra, the Lord's activities in the month of March. In all festivals, the Lord is seated on a car, and the car moves through different streets of the city so that people may take advantage of visiting the Lord. In the Bhavishya Purana, it is said, in such ceremony, even if Chandala, dog eater, simply come out of curiosity and sees the Lord on the cart, he becomes counted as one of the associates of Vishnu. In the Agni Purana, it is stated that any person who in gladness sees the worship of deity in the temple will obtain the results of Kriya Yoga, which are described in the Pancha Ratra scripture. Kriya Yoga is a system of practice, much like practical devotional service, but it is especially meant for mystic yogis. In other words, by this gradual process, the mystic yogis are eventually elevated to the devotional service of the Lord.
Okay. So now this is a Sri Murta Sparsnam. Now Sri Atha Sri Murti Darshanam. So Darshanam. So this is another Anga of Bhakti Darshanam. Sri Murte Darshanam. So which Darshanam? Govinda Deva Darshanam. Vrindavan, if somebody goes and takes darshan of the Lord, Govinda Deva Darshanam, or even the temples, Vishnu temples also. So then they will not have darshan of Yampura. Yampuram Yanti. They will not go to Yampuram. And Yanti Punya Kritam Gatim. But achieve the pure bhakti, the goal of all punya. So they will achieve the pure bhakti. Just by taking darshanam, this is such a important. Prabhupada is saying here, this means simply by visiting the deity in the of Govinda in Vrindavan, one becomes highly elevated in the pious life. Then Arti. So what is next Anga? RR Trika Darshanam. So one who is taking Arti का दर्शन, भगवान का आरती चल रहा है उसका दर्शन. तो कोटयो ब्रह्म हत्या नाम, कोटि ब्रह्म हत्या नाम, कोई किया भी है कोटि ब्रह्म हत्या. Then what? 10 millions of sins committed in the past or to be committed in future also. 10 million sins of killing Brahmana and 10 million sins committed in the past or committed in future. All will finish if somebody sees that lamp is simply lightening the face of the Lord, deity face. So that much benefit is given. Then Jhulan Yatra and other things mentioned. So this is which Anga? Atha Shravanam. Okay, to Shravanam पे चलेंगे. Techniques of hearing and remembering. 1 minute. Aman Prabhu there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please read.
It's not showing.
The beginning of Krishna
Yes,
consciousness.
Prabhuji. Teaching. Yes, Prabhuji. The beginning of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is hearing in Sanskrit called Shravanam. All people should be given the chance to come and join devotional parties so that they may hear. This hearing is very important for progressing in Krishna consciousness. When one links his ear to give oral reception to the transcendental vibrations, he can quickly become purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has affirmed that this hearing is very important. It cleanses the heart of the contaminated soul so that he becomes quickly qualified to enter into devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness. In the Garud Puran, the stress on hearing is expressed very nicely. It is said there, the state of conditioned life in the material world uh, is just like that of a man lying unconscious, having been bitten by a snake. This is because both such unconscious states can be ended by the sound of a mantra. When a man is snake bitten, he does not die immediately, but first becomes unconscious and remains in a comatose condition. Anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping. As he is, uh, as he does not.
No,
Also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self or his actual duty and his relationship with God. So, materialistic life means that one is bitten by the snake of Maya illusion and thus, without any Krishna consciousness, is almost dead. Now, the so called dead man bitten by a snake can be brought back to life by chanting of some mantra. There are expert chanters of these mantras who can perform this feat. Similarly, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly unconsciousness state of material life by hearing of the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 39 to 40, the importance of hearing of the pastime of the Lord is stated by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. My dear king, one should stay at a place where the great Acharya, holy teachers speak about the transcendental activities of the Lord, and one should give oral reception to the nectarian river flowing from the moonlike face of such great personalities. If someone eagerly continues to hear such transcendental sounds, then certainly he will become freed from all material hunger, thirst, fear, and lamentation, as well as all illusion of material existence. Shri,
so
yes,
1 minute. So hearing is going on. Shravanam. So Nam Charita Guna Adi Nam Shrutir Bhavet. Shravanam means Nam Charita Gunadi Nam. So name, qualities, no, Charita means here the activities. What is it? Past tense, yes. Charita means past tense. So Nam Leela Guna. Hmm? Three things. That is Shruti Bhavet. And the example is given. So Prabhupada is quoting the verse. The Sansar Sarpa Dashta Nashta Chaishtake Bhesajam. Krishneti Vaishnava Mantra Srutva Mukto Bhavet Naraha. One becomes free from the poison of Sansar Sarpa Dashta. This is one thing. And Prabhupada is also mentioning. Now this is Nam Shravanam example. Okay. Now Charitra Shravanam, past time. So Charitra Shravanam. तस्मिन् महन्मुखरिता मधुभिश्च चरित्र पीयूष शेष सरिता परितः स्रवन्ति ताये पिबन्ति अवितृषो नृपगाढ कर्षेश कर्णेश कर्णेश तान् न स्पृशन्त्य असन दृढ़ भय शोक मोहा. Yes, O king will forget the necessities. Acha. So what one will, when one hears the pastime of the Lord, then one forget the hunger, the thirst, and the soka and lamentation. So this we read. Now, one should stay at the place where great acharyas speak about the transcendental activity of the Lord. That's why we should stay near temple, because we are always, there's some holy name is chanting going on. Or one should stay, if temple is not available, where we can regularly go and practice bhakti, or we can also call someone to practice bhakti with association of the Vaishnava nearby. So basically the concept is mentioned, one should stay at a place where great acharyas speak about the transcendental activity of the Lord. One should give oral reception to the nectarian river flowing from the moon-like faces of such great personalities. So that will finish once. Hunger, thirst, fear, lamentation. So this is a charitra, Shravanam. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes, go ahead.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended this process of hearing as a means of self-realization in the present age of Kali. In this age, it is very difficult to follow thoroughly the regulative principles and studies of the Vedas, which were formerly recommended. However, if one gives oral reception to the sound vibration, the sound vibrated by great devotees and acharyas, that alone will give him relief from all material contamination. Therefore, it is the recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one should simply hear from the authorities who are actually devotees of the Lord. Hearing from professional men will not help. If we hear from those who are actually self-realized, then the nectarine rivers like those which are flowing on the moon planet will flow into our ears. This is a metaphor used in the above verse. I'll continue, Raji.
So ultimately it's mentioned here, one should hear from the great devotees. Yes, go ahead.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita, a materialistic person can give up his material hankerings only by becoming situated in Krishna consciousness. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up his inferior engagement. In this material world, everyone is engaged in the illusory activities of uh, the inferior energy. But when one is given the opportunity to relish the activities of the superior energy performed by Krishna, then he forgets all lesser pleasures. When Krishna speaks on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, to the materialistic person, it appears that this is simply talk between two friends. But actually, it is a river of nectar flowing down from the mouth of Sri Krishna. Arjun gave oral reception to such vibration, and thus he became freed from all the illusions of material problems. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, verse 15, it is stated, a person who desires unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna, who is praised by transcendental sound vibrations, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. This will surely kill all kinds of inauspiciousness in the heart. Yes, Pari. So you can scroll in the 10th. Yes, Pari. In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 8, it is said, my dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him and who goes on suffering the resultant actions of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim.
Okay. So Nam Charitra is done. Now Guna. So Charitra Shravan done. Guna Shravan is यस्तु उत्तम श्लोक गुणानुवाद संगीयते भीक्षणम अमंगलम घ्न तम एव नित्यम शृणुयाद अभीक्षणम कृष्णे मलाम भक्तिम अभिप्सता अभिप्समान. So it says that a devotee should engage in such listening in regular daily assemblies and should also continue his hearing throughout the day. So yeah, where Prabhupada is saying that. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, materialistic person can give up his materialistic anger by becoming situated in Krishna conscious. Unless one finds superior engagement, he will not be able to. This is also important, very, very important. Unless one finds a superior engagement, he will not be able to give up inferior engagement. So, in Krishna consciousness, what is superior engagement? This is a very great question. What is superior engagement? Yes. Anyone?
Hearing,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Huh?
Rishikena Rishikesha Sevana Bhakti Rachatu.
Okay. Elaborate it more better. Good.
That we, whatever like senses Krishna has given to us, we engage them in service of Krishna to best of our capacity. So, and by that we means basically going beyond our own me, mind, our own ego, and serving Krishna with whatever resources we get.
Or koi? Yes. Next person, next devotees. Good point. Next.
Hearing and then Vaishnava Seva means
Hearing?
and do some Vaishnava Seva, like service to the Vaishnavas.
Okay. Yes, very nice. और कोई? Superior engagement क्या है?
Hearing about Lord's Nam, Rupa, Guna and Lila.
गुरु के इंस्ट्रक्शंस को फॉलो करना.
Devotional service project.
Yes.
Prabhuji, can we also say Prabhuji any engagement जिससे हमें हमारे मन में भगवान की स्मृति या फिर भगवान के बारे में और सेवा करने का, भक्तों की और सेवा करने का मन करे, मतलब any engagement that will become superior engagement.
Where we find nourishment and I don't want to give up that thing for any other exchange. दूसरे exchange के लिए मैं नहीं छोड़ूंगा उसको. Actually, superior engagement for a beginner is what? One with beginning bhakti, for him, you engage him in doing some पोछा मारने को लगा दो, बर्तन धोने को लगा दो, भगवान का कुछ सेवा कुछ दे दो उसको, तो उसके लिए वो engagement है. And he's getting freed from his sinful tendencies gradually and sinful mentality or whatever, along with sinful activity. So, but when we are growing in bhakti, then we have already taken up such engagement regularly. We do chanting, we do hearing, we do service also. But still, it is also found out that we may be engaged in some inferior engagement. Then why that is not giving us superior engagement? That superior engagement where we are already doing is not helping us. So this is an important thing. One has to find one's absorption in certain engagement of bhakti, where one is absorbed. So this is very, very important. So absorption should be, as Prabhupada is mentioning here, down only. Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita and Arjuna is hearing. So that nectar, the river of nectar flowing from the mouth of Sri Krishna, and his just oral reception, means he is telling that nectar is absorption of Arjuna. And that nectar will always be there in his mind, in his chitta. Whenever he goes away, he does something, again he comes back, and again he drinks the nectar. So this is what you mention, all this nectar, whatever. This is superior engagement. A person who desires unalloyed devotion service, who is praised by transcendental vibrations, should always hear about his glorification and transcendental qualities. Means this is the nectar. This is a superior engagement. One is reading or hearing, one should be absorbed in that. Glorification of the Lord, his hearing or his reading. That is the nectar. The reason is, later, even if our preaching projects also, or mentoring projects also, all those things, they will involve some expectations, some kind of fighting, other things, some kind of attraction, because we are not driven from inside. We are driven from external engagement, not internal. We have not got the nourishment. We are not seeking engagement according to our nourishment. We are seeking engagement according to somebody who has spoken to us something. And everybody doing something, so we should also do. Hmm. Even though it is correct, we should never remain idle. Huh? But one has to find one's engagement. Superior engagement means this. That will free him from other unnecessary activities. ये इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। उसको उसमें टेस्ट आना चाहिए। हम्म। अरे ये वैष्णव सेवा बहुत ऊंचा चीज है बाबा, ये आसान चीज नहीं है। पहले श्रवण करना पड़ता है, श्रवण कर करके कानों को भरना पड़ता है, या इस अध्ययन कर करके दिमाग को भरना पड़ता है, उसको भगवान के ग्लोरीज को बिठाना पड़ता है, तब जाके इसका निष्कर्ष आता है। बाकी जितने भी भक्ति के अंग हैं यहीं से चालू, बिना श्रवणम बिना कीर्तनम के भक्ति अंग नहीं चलेंगे, कोई भी भक्ति अंग नहीं चलेंगे ज्यादा समय तक। उसमें मटेरियल टेंट्स घुस जाएंगे, हमारे मटेरियल अंडरस्टैंडिंग घुस जाएगी। So therefore, it is very, very important that one should feel nourishment in bhakti through hearing and chanting. Our whole process is that only, hearing and chanting, Shravanam Kirtanam, Shravanam Kirtanam. So this is not there, I know, we also know our status कि मेरे को जप करने में मन नहीं लगता है, लेकिन समझना पड़ेगा हमको बाद में यही मेरा एटलीस्ट जप में नहीं लग रहा है, तो फिर जप के लिटिल क्लोजर क्या है? जप के लिटिल क्लोजर श्रवणम है, कथा श्रवणम। उसके थोड़ा और भी जाएंगे तो फिर अध्ययनम, उसको अपने को एब्जॉर्ब करना अध्ययन में या तो श्रवण में। तो ये जप के थोड़ा क्लोज है। और फिर जब ये जीव गोसाई पाद बोलते हैं, जब ये अगर किसी को जप में नहीं मन लगता तो ये करो, ये करते रहो, तो फिर धीरे धीरे वो उसका जप में भी मन लग जाए। बिकॉज हिज माइंड इज, वाई और माइंड इज डिस्ट्रैक्टेड ड्यूरिंग चैंटिंग टाइम ऑल्सो। मेनी टाइम्स इट इज ऑफेंस के कारण भी होता है, बट मेनी टाइम्स बिकॉज वी आर नॉट लिविंग अ सात्विक और life where we are relishing our nectar. So therefore, immediately how can early morning our mind will be peaceful? It will be all roaming around, मैंने क्या क्या करना है मेरे को आगे भी, क्योंकि हमने कोई रस नहीं लिया है। तो यही चीज है एक्चुअली, हमको इसमें रस पाना है फाइनली। परीक्षित महाराज, he was ready to forget everything just for the sake of hearing. This is such a nectar actually. So this hearing or understanding the scripture will only become our nourishment when we do it for longer time. When we do it for some 6-7 hours together sometimes, बैठ के कुछ नहीं करना है, बस यही करना है, तब हमको थोड़ा रस लगेगा, यार इसमें रस है, जो निकल के आता है कुछ घंटों के बाद। जैसे जप में भी, जप में ये हर दिन के जप में उतना नहीं आता है, लेकिन कोई लंबा किया और तो उसको लगता है कि, लेकिन जप थोड़ा मुश्किल है। क्योंकि जप मुश्किल क्यों है? क्योंकि जप के लिए व्यक्ति को बहुत सिंपल होना पड़ता है। इफ इज त्रिनादपि सुनिचेना ही कैन चैंट। और जिसकी खोपड़ी बड़ी है, जिसको कुछ चीज समझ में नहीं आता ऑफेंस, तो उसको श्रवण करो, अध्ययन करो। क्या है, खोपड़ी बहुत बड़ी है ना, तो कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा। और जिसके हाथ लंबे हैं, फिर कर्म करो, कोई बात नहीं, कर्म करो, चलो कर्म करो, ये सेवा करो, बड़े बड़े काम करो, वो भी चलेगा, क्योंकि अभी उसकी खोपड़ी में नहीं जाने वाला, उसको कर्म करना है। तो सो बट ग्रेजुअली द वर्क, वी हैव टू विड्रॉ फ्रॉम वर्क ग्रेजुअली। विड्रॉ फ्रॉम वर्क मीन्स वन हैज टू डू द वर्क, बट वन हैज टू गेट नरिश्ड फर्स्ट एंड देन डू द वर्क। नॉट दैट वर्क इज ओनली नरिशमेंट, रनिंग हियर एंड देयर, रनिंग हियर देयर, उसको बात करके आया, उसको बांट के आया, इसको 10 बुक बांटा, उसको 50 बुक बांटा, उसको लेक्चर दे गया, उसको लेक्चर देगा, सब लेक्चर देके आ गया, और ठीक है मजा आ गया। ऐसा नहीं होता, वो आपका आउटकम होना चाहिए। इनकम क्या है? इनकम श्रवणम होना चाहिए। जब तक इनकम भारी नहीं है, आउटकम से हमारा विड्रॉल हो जाएगा और हम सूख जाएंगे एक दिन। और फिर यही लोग फिर बाकी चीजों में फंस भी जा सकते हैं, रिचिंग के चक्कर में, पैसे में फंस जाएगा, कोई उसमें फंस जाएगा, कोई लैंड में फंस जाएगा, कोई मैन वुमन में फंस जाएगा, ऐसे फंस जाएंगे। क्योंकि उसको क्लियर लगना चाहिए, मेरे को करंट लग रहा है बाबा, मेरे को, मैं मरने वाला हूँ, अभी करंट लग रहा है, तो जब तक उसको अपना नरिशमेंट नहीं पता, मेरा नरिशमेंट किधर से आता है, मेरे को किधर बचना है, किधर जाना है, जब तक ये क्लियर उसको नहीं हो गया, उसके चित्त में, उसके दिमाग में क्लियर नहीं हो गया, ये डेंजर जोन है। मेरे को अपना समय इसमें नहीं वेस्ट करना। दैट इज व्हाट प्रभुपाद इज मेंशनिंग है। सुपीरियर एंगेजमेंट मीन्स जब मेरा कोई टाइम खींच रहा है दूसरे चीज में, मेरे डिजायर्स भी खींच रहे हैं, तू ये कर ले, तू वो कर ले, जब मेरे डिजायर्स भी मेरे को खींच रहे हैं, तो मेरे को अपना सुपीरियर एंगेजमेंट देखना पड़ेगा। वाई आई एम वेस्टिंग माई टाइम इन अदर थिंग्स जस्ट बिकॉज इट इज लुकिंग गुड? सो लाइक दैट, one should never sit idle, one should be busy with some engagement. And that engagement also should be, so that engagement priority should be nourishing engagement first, and then one can be engaged in doing some work for big work. वो भी करो, कोई इशू नहीं है। नरिशमेंट नहीं हुआ ना, तो व्यक्ति के अंदर फिर लालसा आएगी, इच्छाएं आएंगी, मैं इतना मेहनत क्यों कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को क्या मिल रहा है, बाहर वाले लोग इतना काम करके इतना पैसा कमाते हैं, मेरे को कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है। वाई? Because he's not listening, he's not hearing. They will start desiring. This thing happened. Okay, ठीक है। Any question? नहीं ना? Next. So this is superior engagement, and then hmm, in the 12th canto, ठीक है, 3rd chapter, verse 15, a person desires another. So this is which one is going on? तत्तेनुकंपा अभी आने वाला है। तो ये गुण गुण श्रवणम ही चल रहा है। तत्तेनुकंपाम सुसमीक्षम, तो दिस इज तत्कृपेक्षणम। भगवान की कृपा का एस्पिरेशन रखना, भगवान मुझ पे कृपा करेंगे, वो आना है। तो अभी तो नहीं हुआ है वो। वेयर इज दैट श्लोक? हाँ, दाएं भाग, यस, दिस इज कमिंग हियर। सो प्रभुपाद इज एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट ओनली। यहाँ तक ये राइटफुल क्लेम यहाँ तक है, यस। तो नेक्स्ट अंगा इज, अच्छा अभी समय हो गया, ठीक है, तत्कृपेक्षण। टुमारो आई थिंक विल बी हैविंग हॉलीडे बिकॉज आई हैव सम वर्क। सो कल छुट्टी रहेगी सबकी, एंड विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट सैटरडे। आई वॉज आस्किंग हु टुक द श्लोका टेस्ट फॉर एनओआई एंड ईशोपनिषद। किस आपका श्लोका टेस्ट किसने लिया है?
तो जी वो ओल्ड एज डिवोटी है ना, क्या नाम था?
उनका नाम तो नहीं, वी डोंट नो द नेम जी।
रुक्मिणी बल्लभ प्रभु?
नहीं, रुक्मिणी वल्लभ प्रभु नहीं।
आदि भगवान प्रभु?
नहीं, नॉट
आदि भगवान
ब्रह्मचारी।
तो नहीं,
अच्छा, वो
सम गृहस्थ
राजेश
डिवोटी।
राजेश प्रभु?
राजेश प्रभु, राजेश
हाँ,
प्रभु।
यस 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 जी।
नहीं नहीं, आपको पक्का याद है क्या?
यस प्रभु जी। जब वो लास्ट टाइम हम लोगों ने बोला ना कि मांस को गंदे हो रहे हैं, उसके बाद ही
गीता
चेंज हुआ।
all three units Gita are taken by him. So
हाँ,
I'm asking about Ishopanishad and NOI.
ईशोपनिषद इनोवाई प्रभु जी स्टार्टिंग से वही लेते हुए आ रहे हैं, सिर्फ लास्ट में गीता का 3rd यूनिट आगे प्रभु जी चेंज हुए जो अभी तब हुए। उसके पहले सारे उन्होंने लिए हैं हमारे एग्जाम्स।
ठीक है। So all of you have got your marks na in everything. Only this shloka is remaining na.
No,
यस
Prabhuji, from I don't know about others, but I did not see my marks. I think for some of the CBAs also, Prabhuji.
So जी, I also not got my marks for 2 OBAs and 2 CBAs. So I told, like I messaged Prabhuji, and I'm not sure Prabhuji, I'm not able to find one OBA of Bhagavad Gita Unit 1. Rest all others I sent him 3 files. So he told to submit on that link where we submit generally. So I submitted again. So but there is no option to check that if they have received it or not. So वो एक
So
बार
one
उनसे
thing is
पूछना
very
पड़ेगा।
good. You have your written answers with you, so you can.
हाँ, ये सर जी। 3 का तो है ब्रो जी। एक OBA Unit 1 भगवत गीता का पता नहीं, मुझे याद नहीं है ब्रो जी कि वो मैंने लिखा है या सबमिट किया है या नहीं किया है, मिल नहीं रहा।
Nandaraj is there? Not there.
नंदराज पूरी
Not there.
इज नॉट देयर ब्रो जी।
Okay, I will talk with him. Okay. So all the devotees can. He will contact all of you. you can write yours, which part is not got, your answers, marks you have not got. So you submit all those things with the proper link and get it checked. Okay. So I will tell Anand Rajput to send you the Google form or whatever you can write, and that you submit your things and you will get. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.